Hi guys, MacMan. How are you all doing? Thank you so much for jumping in and joining me tonight. Let me just switch that one off. Hopefully I won't have any echo then. Okay, let's have a look who's here. G23 was the first. Hi G23, how you doing? Hope you're feeling better. Hope each day you're getting better and feeling a little bit stronger. And then we got Alaska 1 Andy, Brutal Bob. Hi Bob. Great to see you guys. So this is going to be my second live stream. This is going to be more closer to the date and time, Mondays, 8 o'clock. I might bring it forward an hour. I tested it today, obviously, with my business, seeing what time I finish, what time I get home. So maybe I can get it forward an hour and start at 7 o'clock Arizona time. Might help you guys out a little bit, but wasn't sure how it was going to go on a Monday night for me. So hopefully next week will be an hour earlier, so you won't have to stay up so late. Reloading from the hot pot. Hi, Gene. How you doing? Info Brothers has joined us as well. That's great. I didn't expect to see that many guys on straight away. Appreciate it. So what I thought I was going to do, guys, tonight I'm just going to talk about my RCBS bench primer. It's going to start off. I had to start somewhere with my equipment, so we're going to start with this. We run through how I set mine up, what I think the pros and cons are, and we'll go through and we'll prime some cases as well and see what it looks like. And hopefully you'll have an honest opinion of what I think of this machine. And if you want to throw questions at me, guys, just throw them at me. I'll try and pick them up as I'm going through, and I'll answer as many as I can. Hi, Dale. Dale's jumped on. GGW Outdoors has jumped in. Really appreciate you guys jumping on. I think that's it for the minute. See if there's any questions there. Okay, let's go in and let me just move the camera, guys, and I can show you my setup. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. So when I built my bench, guys, I built it with a couple of these T-tracks in it. I routed the top wood out and I dropped a couple of T-tracks in. And this is how I've set up some of I got my Wilson trimmer set up like this, my Hornady continuity gauge, my 21st century neck cutting lathe, and the RCBS bench primer. So I can just mount it down, clamp them down, and I can interchange them and move around. So these T-bar rails are really good. So all I do is I just get the bolt. You can slide it in from either end, put one on each end. I just drop them onto the bolts. There you go. So you can just sit them on the bolts and you can set it up really wherever you want to. A couple of washers and a couple of these little plastic wing nuts. And this just clamps everything down nice. There you go, no movement at all. So that's how I got it set up on the bench. And then I just mounted to the couple of pieces of wood that I've glued together. And then I mounted on with 4 screws, nice and secure. doesn't move anywhere, guys, and I can move it in and out nice and easy. Let's just bring this in a bit. So we're going to be doing a few 9mm shells. So I got the Reading case holder, and as far as I believe, I've tried Reading, RCBS, Hornady. Nearly all of them fit into the holder, so you can just use any of your shell holders, and pretty much all of them fit. It also comes with a large and a small primer punch. So obviously we'll be using the small tonight, just drops in. The other one sits back in the back there. And sorry about this, guys, I'm trying to get it all in line there for you. So the other one just sits there. It's all as a complete unit. I'm jumping around reading the comments as well, guys, so sorry about this. Let me just make sure I got everybody. Bob, let's see if any other questions come up. GGW. Ron Wayne, hi there. Good to see you. Nice to see you jumping in here. It's a new name I haven't seen before. Thank you for jumping in. Okay. So, pros and cons to this machine. If some of you already got it, or you've seen this on other channels or videos, one of the biggest things was this lever. When you're using it, it was jumping about and banging and flopping around and making a lot of noise. So Walter Verhejo told me to put like a little pad or something, a little pad or a piece of rubber that goes right in here. And what I use is I got these little Velcro dots that I use on my tool truck. So I just grabbed one of those and literally slid it in between the frame and this moving arm. And it just takes out the clunking and the banging out. So it's a great improvement. So if you're using one of these machines, guys, just get a little pad or something, just pop it in there, and it's a good little enhancement. Next, what else can I say? Another thing I don't like is when you fill the tube, when you drop it in and you pull the pin, if you've got primers left in here and you finished your session, it's a pain if you have to take this tube out and without primers going everywhere. You can't really pop it out and trying to whittle this pin back in between primers doesn't really work. So if you finish the session and there's primers left in here and you're pulling it out, you can normally slip your finger underneath, stop them, but you normally get a few dropping out on the floor. So that's one thing that I don't like. I wish there could be an improvement. I don't know how they could do it, but just to stop the primers falling out if there's any left in the tube. So that's a bad thing that I don't like about this. Another thing you want to do, guys, is this bolt on the pivot bolt. You want to put a little bit of Loctite on here, because when you're using this, it comes loose. And this then arm is moving around and just doesn't feel nice. And so it just needs just a touch of a little thread lock on there, nip it back up, and eliminates that problem. Again, I did this probably a year ago. I put a little tab on there of a thread lock, and it's been great since. I haven't had any more issues with it. Yeah, look, there's a couple more people jumped in here. Misty Mrs. Wayne, how are you doing? That's another new name I haven't seen. Great to have you. AR Gun 1776, hi there. Great to see you, AR. Mark Thomas, hi Mark, good to see you. And let's see if there's any questions here. No, we're good. So the primer tube was a bit of a pain. We've eliminated the bounce with using a little pad, and we've done the bolt as well. The biggest thing that I find with this, you're going to do a big session, you want to do a couple of 100 cases, you're doing your rifle rounds. This handle here, there's not much comfort at all in this handle, and anybody who's used one of these machines and worked it and spent an hour, 2-3 hours priming, your hand takes a beating right across here using this. So I'm in the process of trying to find some sort of handle just to put over this to make it a little bit more comfortable, because it gets uncomfortable and it does wear in your hand. So it's if I could get some sort of grip to go on there, if any of you guys got ideas, drop them in the comments. But that's definitely an issue that I struggle with every time I use this machine. It beats the palm of my hand up a little bit. So that's basically it with the cons, guys. It's just pretty easy to sort out. You can sort this out. This, I don't know what we're going to do with this. That's something on the handle. I don't know what we do with that. But they're just little problems. But I want to bring it to you, what I find using this machine, the good and the bad. And then going on to the good. Once it's bolted on the bench, this machine doesn't move. And it can turn out a lot of primed cases. And the cases come out very, very consistent. Let's see if we can get in here. And the primer always seems to sit just below the rim of the case. They all sit nice. And there's always a positive feel, guys. When you're actually pushing that primer in, it comes to a stop. You can feel the stop every time. And it's a real positive prime. So for that part of it, I normally just use this for my rifle rounds and the other things. I got different priming tools, but I was doing 9mm over the last couple of days, so it's everything set up. So everything's here for doing the 9mm. So that's why I just set it up for the 9mm. But it's a great primer, like I said, real positive stop. You know you've hit the bottom of the case, and they're very, very consistent how they come through, and very smooth as well. It's not very often you'll damage a primer putting it on with this machine. It is pretty good. Go back just to see if there's any. And then been subscribed for a while, Ron Wayne. Between my work and channel, I don't get much. I don't get out much. It's great to see you, Wayne. Ron. Like I said, I've only just started streaming, so a lot of these names are new to me, but thanks for coming on, and I will get to know all these names pretty soon. And then G23. How much did that bench primer cost, if you remember? To be honest with you, I think I paid about $98 or $99 on promo. I picked it up from Midway. I was going through, and it was around just under the $100. And I've just jumped on Midway site tonight, just before coming on. They're out of stock at the moment, but they are showing a sale price, and I believe they were $115. Let me just see here. I thought I saw them on here a little bit a while ago. Yeah, it's got a retail price on Midway for $135, and they were on sale for $115. Out of stock, but they are taking back orders on them. So, but I think when I bought this one, it was just under the $100 on a promo. Reloading from the hotbar. How about a bicycle grip? That would probably work, Gene, but I think we'd have to build it up a little bit. I might have to put maybe some electrical tape insulating tape on here first to build it up. So when you push it on, it'd be a tight fit. So when you're pressing down on it, you don't want that thing sliding around. So maybe with some electrical tape, a little bit of glue in there as well. That might work. I'll have to look into that. That really might work. And then G23 saying, how about hockey tape? I'll be honest with you, I haven't done anything with hockey tape, but it's got like padding on it with little holes in it, I believe, if I can remember what I saw it before. I think that would work well as well. Gee, thank you. I think we would do that. It's just trying to figure out how it would work there. AR said that he had one for $59 on a big sale. They're about $100 or so now. Yeah, that's what I can see. Hi Viejo, he's just jumped in. Hi Walter. Okay, so sorry for jumping in and out, guys, but I'm trying to catch everybody when they're jumping on and saying hi to them and everything. So let's get on, and this is what, let's pull out here a little bit. So loading this up, flip trays. We've all got flip trays. That's how we load our primers up. Let's get a few primers in here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here, guys. Okay, lid on, flip them over. A lot of people say this is a boring job, but to be honest with you, it's pretty therapeutic. I think of some strange things when I'm loading, and I don't mind doing this. This is something that breaks things up. Pick up the primers, make sure they're all going in the right way around. Okay, let me just get a plastic rod just to push them down. So the tube's loaded up, it just drops in, it sits there, it does hold up just a little bit. It just holds up a little bit at the moment with the pin in. So just hold a little bit of pressure on your tube, pull the pin out, and there you go. The first one has already dropped out, popped into the punch, and it holds it back. And there's a little pin in here. Any guys that have never seen these machines, there's a little pin in here. So as you bring this forward, the pin pushes on the side of the punch, and it'll drop the next primer in once it's been emptied. So there we're ready to go. Piece of brass, just put it into the shell holder, and then it's just a straightforward, just push down until it stops. It's just a positive stop. Lift it back up, and there you can see this is now empty. As this comes forward, it loads the next primer in. Hope you can see that, guys. Just loads the next primer in. Oh, maybe let me just, if I just raise this a little bit. You might get a better idea. There we go. So there you can see get that to focus. Drops it in. And you can see it's just under the top of the case. And if you run your finger across there, you can just feel it's just recessed just a little bit where it's gone all the way down. Pull this back up again. So now I think you can see this better. So it just straight down. You can see it just goes to a stop. It doesn't. You You can't go any further. You can't over prime them or squash them or squeeze them up. It'll only go so far. You can pull that out. So bring that forward again. And there you go. The next one's in. So you can run through. Just check them as they go through. This will do a lot of brass in a short time. I normally stand up when I'm doing this, guys. I prefer to do all my loading and everything standing up. Being we're talking on the stream, I'll sit down. Another thing to watch for, guys, as well, this little lever, sometimes it gets picked up and you can get maybe a bit of powder, a little bit of dirt on there. This has got to be kept clean because it's quite a tight flush in there, fitting in there, and they can stick. So sometimes when you go to pull this back down to release it down, this holds up. And if it starts to doing that, just take it out, give it a wipe over with maybe a bit of brake clean or something down the tube. Just wipe this down. Get a Q-tip, run the Q-tip down in there to give us a nice clean. And that eliminates that problem. Again, every time, very consistent all the way through. Let me just check again on the comments, guys. Millsip Duo jumped on. Hi there. Just go back again. See all reloaded from the hot pot. Yeah. Reloader. Gene says hockey tape and a bicycle grip. No more sore hands. I think that's the way to go, Gene. I really do. I think that's probably going to be the best way to do this. VHO saying there are foam motorcycle grips also. That would be nice because it's going to be really soft. That would help quite a bit as well. Yeah, so G23 saying that the hockey tape is similar to what's on hammer handles. So you're probably right, Gene. It's just between the grip and that tape, I think that's the way I'm going to sort it out. And what I can do is, once I figure it out, I'll make a little video and I'll put it on there because it's going to be helpful for others because it's, like I said, it is a bit of a pain. Ron says, I use primer tubes on my RCBS rock chucker. Yeah, I don't tend to have the only tubes I use is on my 650s. I tend to do everything else by hand. I don't use the T7 priming system or the RCBS priming system. I tend to do it on the bench. I know it's a longer process, but it's how I've done it, and it seems to work for me. But like everybody got their own way of doing stuff, and if it works, it's great. Anybody else jumped in yet? Mrs. Wayne, I enjoy helping Ron reload when he lets me help. Just jump in and get on there and do it. It's so much fun. And then Bob says, Mac, man, you get it. Everything related to reloading is therapy. It is. You come out here, you sit in your loading room, you're loading up. It's just, you get in the zone. Just all the worries just seem to drift away when you're out here. That's right. Yeah, you're not running a race when you're reloading. You're out here, you're having fun, you're doing it, you're doing everything in your own time. It's great. Hi, Hillbilly up. Great you join us. Really appreciate it. Just going down the rest. Critter says, I wish I could do my reloading standing up. Well, it's comfy sitting down, Critter. I think you've got everything set up perfect for you, so it doesn't matter how you do it, as long as it gets done, it's always good. And Ayaz saying, it's a good piece of equipment, very easy to operate. You're right, I love it. I don't think I'd use any other sort of priming system. Yeah, I will. And I'm definitely going to look around, Gene. I know you can see there's a lot of grips out there. I like the idea of maybe building it up with that hockey tape and then putting like a foam grip over it. Make it nice and soft. And that would help. Okay. So when you're running through and you want to change calipers, imagine that I just put a brand new tube in there, and it's a large primers in there, and it's as simple as long as it's empty, just pull out your pin, remove your shell holder, grab a 308 shell holder, drop it back in, get the large primer punch, drop it in, and you're good. That's it. Literally 15-20 seconds. You can take this from small primer to large primer and back again to small primer. So that will make this super nice. It's just, everything's there. It's in front of you. It's easy to change. I just love it. I can't really say much more about it. I started off with all the bad things, which I normally do, and then finish up with the good things. And there is more good things to this machine than bad things. There's a couple of things I need to do to it to make it a little bit better. And then sorry, I'm just still learning these cameras, guys. There you go. So you can see there, everyone just under the top of the brass, just slightly down. Perfect every time. I'm trying to read the comments. I wonder if, what's this one here? I wonder if the lever could be bent vertically before the handle without messing up the mechanism. I'm not sure, Info. It seems to be, it's quite a solid handle on this. I don't know if you're going to be able to bend or move this thing without doing any damage. It's a pretty sturdy handle on it. Some fingerless gloves have padding in their palms. It is another way to go, using gloves. I don't like using gloves. The only time I normally use gloves is if I'm when I'm cutting the crimp off, and I'll do a video later on using the RCBS crimp cutter tool. Yeah, you can see it's just sticking a little bit there, guys, with me. There you go. See how the lever's all the way down, and then that is stuck. It's stuck up. So if you can see that. So it just takes a little bit of a whittle or a knock. But what I do, may as well do it now. And get a Q-tip out here. Isn't it nice when things come together? You talk about something that can happen, and it actually happens when you're on the stream. Can't get much better than that. So all I'll do is I just pull the tube out, A little bit of brake clean. Let's clear this one off. Just use this brake clean. A little bit on paper, and then you can just rub it through the machine, rub it through the rod, all around the rod, give it a clean. That's all it needs. And then I just get the Q-tip. Bit of brake clean on the Q-tip, and then you can just run it down and clean inside. Give it a bit of a wipe. There you go. You can see it's a little bit grubby in there. And then just go down with a dry one. I don't tend to lube these guys. I don't think you need to put oil or grease in anything. I think that would just encourage you to pick up more dust and dirt. So it's just better just to clean it with a little bit of brake clean. And there you go. Hopefully that will sort out the little sticking problem. Yeah, it seems to be working. Got that little bit of dirt, a little bit of grime out of it. And it's back. And it's back working. Let's see any more questions come up here. Walter's saying, info, I think you could have it cut and welded back into place. That would work. You could grind it back into place. Don't really know what angle you'd want to put it at, because it works sitting down, it works well. Standing up, it works well. You can just keep the pressure on it. I don't really know what angle you'd want to put on it. Hi, Mrs. Hotshot. She's just jumped in. Thanks for joining us. Critter saying, cut it in the middle and weld at 45 degrees and weld both pieces together. And I think you'd be sitting at more of an angle. But I think if you brought this up at more of an angle, I think the way it is at the moment, it's comfy on your arm. But if it was up at more of an angle, can you see how it's twisting your arm a little bit? I think if you had it up more here, standing up it might work, but if you like to sit down at the bench as well, I think that might not work so well for me, the way I use it. But again, yeah, so you can use contact cleaner, sometimes alcohol. Trouble is, AR, if I had alcohol in here, I'd probably drink it, so probably not the best idea to have in the loading room. Critter saying, sometimes I've discovered you must clean out the primer tube on the press and the pickups too. Yeah, these can get grubby and dirty. I've never had an issue with them yet. I have probably got about 10 or 15 large, 10 or 15 small primer tubes, which I sort of change around. But you could probably run one of those little metal, like a pipe cleaning, a really small pipe cleaning flexi rod down it, and that would help to clean it as well. But I've never come across that one, Critter. Gene saying primers can be dusty. Always a good idea to keep everything clean that they touch. Yeah, you never know what's coming out of those boxes when you drop them with the dust and everything. So every now and again, just running stuff through is a good idea. Just going down these comments, guys. GDW, breaking in a Lee 356, 125, 2R, 6 cavity. Still some slight wrinkles. Yeah, some of these molds take a little bit of time to break in. GDW, I think you've seen Volta, CW have had a few issues. I've had a few issues with them as well, that they've taken a bit of time to break in. But again, great molds. Once they work in, they're great. So G23, still a few months out. Yeah, he had a pretty nasty infection, and we talked about it before, and he's got a long recovery ahead of him, but we wish you all the best, G23. Just hope it isn't too long and it's not too painful. I hope we get around it pretty quick. We're all rooting for you. Okay. If you've got any other questions, guys, just keep throwing them at me. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. It's just, this could be controversial for some of you. I don't want to upset anybody, but I'm an outsider. I'm from the UK. So I watched the Super Bowl yesterday. I'm not a big soccer fan. I'm a football fan. It just happened to be our neighbours were outside. They were all sitting out. They had the barbecue going. They had an outside TV. They had drinks going. So they invited me and my wife over. So we went over yesterday and we sat and we watched the Super Bowl. And I'm no expert. I'm a big rugby fan. I'm from Wales, so you all know that I'm a big rugby fan. So I sat and I watched the Super Bowl game. And I'll be honest with you, I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a superb game. It was back and forth and really enjoyed it. Until 1.5, 2 minutes to go. When not so much what the ref did with the penalty, can't do nothing about that. But the way they played that last 2 minutes, when that guy broke through, he was running in for a touchdown and he jumped to the sideline just to run time down. And then they came back and they took a knee and they took another knee and then they finally kicked to win the game. I know you want to win the game, but we're sportsmen. You'll never see a guy in rugby run into the touchline and throwing the ball away because they want to run the time down. You go in, you score, you kick your points, and you should have enough belief in yourselves that you can hold that team out for 2 minutes or 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. And I just couldn't get my head around the whole thing where they were just wasting time just to win the game. To me, they didn't deserve to win that game. What they did at the end, the way they won it, how controversial I thought it was, and it ruined the whole game for me. It was a superb game all the way through, and then they go and do something like that. And it was ridiculous. Just run in, score your points, kick the goal, and defend. You're playing a game to win. You're supposed to be the best team. You don't want to be doing it. And to me, I don't want to see teams winning like that because it's just working the system. It's not true sportsmanship. And as far as I'm concerned, they didn't win that game. It was a technicality the way they got it. So I'm sorry if it's upset people. I haven't meant to be, I haven't said this to upset anybody. It's just my thought on it. I'm not really a big soccer fan or football fan, but just the way it went down yesterday, it just left a sour taste in my mouth after watching such a great game. So I just thought I'd throw that out there, guys. See if I can start some arguments or something. No, I'm just kidding. Let me just go down through here. Critter says, I'm a huge American football enthusiast. Loved to play until everyone else got huge and I stayed small. Yeah, it's a rough game out there, definitely is. And Bob from the UK, I thought you had a Montana Canadian accent. No, not quite. Definitely a Welsh accent, Bob. But you were close. And then Hillbilly Up says, yeah, every team in the NFL would do it. Nothing new. Welcome to the NFL. You're right. You're right. You're right, Hillbilly. It's just, I don't watch football. I probably only seen 1 or 2 games in 14 years I've been over here, and I've sat and watched them because my son-in-law has watched them. And I just really don't understand. But you're right. It's just, I suppose that's the way they want to do it. And to me, there wasn't sportsmanship there. They didn't win that game on merit. They should have run it in, scored, and then defended like everybody else does in sport. You don't see it in any other sport. So, Gene, you're right, McMahon. Yeah. I didn't know if anybody else would agree with me or not, but I wanted to throw it out there as a little comment because it's football's huge over here. And I'm probably going to watch more games and try and learn a little bit more about it. What did Mrs. Hotshot say? I don't watch football anymore since the kneel at the flag and seems to be all about the money paid off bookies and the halftime show sucked. They're not meant for kids anymore. You're right, yeah. To be honest, there was so much hype about the halftime show. She was groping herself a little bit. And again, that stadium's full of everybody's full of kids. It went across the nation and there's kids watching it and she's doing stuff like that. So again, not really suitable for the younger kids to watch. And she's got a good voice, but she didn't do much. She basically stood and walked around. There was no bounce with her. There was no fun with her. And it was a pretty mild, laid back performance. So yeah, it's a pity that people over here are disrespecting the flag a little bit and taking the knee. They should be proud to wear their jerseys and they should be proud to wear the national flag. I watched Wales play Scotland on Saturday in rugby, and there's 80,000 in the stadium. The national anthems come on for both teams. Half the stadium is full of Welsh, half full of Scottish. Everybody stands up. Everybody sings. There's no booing. There's no bantering. They all respect the national anthems. The players are singing their hearts out and they throw it all into the game. And that's how we should be. You should be proud to be able to stand up and wear your badge of your American flag, and you should be proud to be able to do it. And it's just a shame that there's a small number that using politics and money to spoil it for everything, and it's terrible. Yeah, you're on about basketball is the same. Sorry to go off the topic a bit, guys, but I just wanted to bring that up because, like I said, it's new to me, and I'd like to see some of the comments. And Brutal Bob has said, what has he said here? Mrs. Hosher, did you see some of the outfit she wore the last time she was pregnant? Phew. Yeah, I don't know if they've announced it that she's pregnant, but it pretty much looked like she was. Yeah. MotoGP. You go to MotoGP, you can go to Formula One, you go to rugby, even football or soccer, as you call it in the UK. They're all proud. They all want to be there. They all want to wear that flag. They all want to wear their badge, and it's great to see. It's great to see. So I just wanted to throw that out there, guys. I just wanted to see how you felt about it. And like I said, I'm going to learn more about the rules and everything. And some of my neighbors, some of their kids play a lot of football, and they've invited me and my wife to go to some of their games that they play on a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. And I think we're going to go over and watch them because the kids haven't got no no idea. I don't think about the whole politics side of it. They just go out and they play their little hearts out, and I think it'll be good to go and see. And I think I'll start doing it on a couple of Saturdays. We'll go over with the neighbours and watch the kids playing some football and probably some baseball as well, because my grandson has played a little bit of baseball. He's like me. He's not really a super big sports fan. I'm mainly a rugby guy. I played rugby for years, and I loved it. I loved the whole getting beaten up and pushed around and getting the old black eyes and everything. I know it's a bit morbid, but I enjoyed the roughness of rugby. It was great to play. And then after the match, you'd spend 80 minutes beating each other up, tackling as hard as you could. You'd get into fights. But when that whistle blew at the end of the match, you'd all go back, take a shower, come to the bar, and you'd all be in there drinking and laughing and joking. It was never carried back to the clubhouse. Doesn't matter how bad the game was, how much bickering and fighting went on during that match. As soon as you come off the pitch, it's done, it's gone. Let's just go and get drunk together and party. And that's what I loved. The whole part of the whole rugby was that you could just go out, beat the hell out of each other. We got a little issue there. The primer didn't sit that time. For some reason, it's probably one of those nasty pieces of brass that I got, and it is stuck in there. Let's see what we can do with this. Not sure what went on there, guys, but something jammed in there. I'm not sure if it's the rod got stuck or it's just the primer turned. Oh, there you go. Suggestions, guys. Has this ever happened to any of you? I think the primer might have gone onto its side as I pushed it in. Everything seems to be loose. That's a weird one. That is a weird one. Okay. It's the first time this has happened to me, guys, so I don't know if any of you have had this issue. Let's see if I can take it apart and get something done here. Viheo says, this has happened to me. You must take the whole cylinder out. Set screw on the side. Remove that. Oh, just holding that in there then. It's weird, I got all these Mac tools, guys. Always handy. Always handy to have a truck full of tools. Yeah, you're right, right, Walter. I can't move nothing. Primer's sitting too low. That's too. For some reason, I can't get it to come out of the. Seems to come to a stop here. I don't know what. I don't know what else is holding us in. Seems to have quite a heavy stop there. Can you see that? Can you see that, Walter? Does that? How do I get that out from there? No, it doesn't want to come out of there. Next thing is you can try remove the depriming pin from a non-Lee die. Tap the primer out of the case. Let's see. Just waiting for the bang. There you go. It didn't drop a primer in, guys. My fault for not checking that. I think what happened was it didn't drop a primer and this little edge just popped into the, sorry, not that, that part just popped into the brass. You see that? Just popped in there and got stuck. Thank you, Walter. We can get that back together. It's great when it goes wrong on a live stream. You've got people to help you sort it out. Let's see, get that out of the way. The large one, that's the small one. Check for damage. No, everything looks good. Okay, get rid of that piece of brass. Back going again. That's great. Thank you, Walter. Thanks, guys. It's nice to see. It's nice for people to see when things go wrong. And like I do, all my videos, if things go wrong, I put them out there so people can see. It's just something that it happens to people, and We need to know how to sort it out when it does go on. Uncle Jim, yeah, hammering with a Mac tool. It's got a lifetime warranty, Uncle Jim, so it doesn't matter. We can just change them out if I damage them. Overhauling the primer press. You're right there, Hillbilly. My fault. There was no primer in it when I went to push it in, and it actually pushed the punch into the bottom of the brass. Brutal Bob thinks I've just voided the warranty on the pliers. I can get around it, Bob. I can just throw them in and change them, but no, you can see there's no damage there. Just gently tapping on the top. Perfect. And we didn't damage the depriming tool at all. I didn't hit it that hard. It was just enough to get the brass just to pop out. Always fun, guys. Nothing's ever happens the same in reloading. You're always going to get little issues, little problems. That's the fun of it. That's why I love it. Okay, we're coming up on an hour, guys, and I can call. Oh, excuse me. Let me call off some of the people that jumped on tonight. So let's have a look. I really, excuse me, I really appreciate you guys jumping on. I hope this Monday night stream will work. And like I said, most of you that are on now, I'm probably going to start maybe an hour earlier. This was just a test tonight. It was my first sort of stream in a segment where I want to stick to. So Monday night, probably going to be around 7 o'clock. I start. I started 8 tonight because I didn't know what time I was going to be home from work. By the time I had a little bit of food and jumped on you and got everything ready. But no, 7 should be good. And it'll be an hour earlier for a lot of you guys on the East Coast as well. So you won't have to stay up so late. So hopefully that'll work for everybody. So we had AR jump on. I got Uncle Jim, Mrs. Hotshot, reloading from the hot pot. Dale Pogue jumped in. Hobbies Hobo. Good to see you, Hobbies. Great to see you coming on. Hillbilly Up joined us. G23, Viheho. Brutal Bob. Always good to see you, Bob. This is Hot Shot. Yep, we're just going through the comments quickly. I don't want to miss any guys. Critter 9A jumped on. Always good to see you, Critter. Info Brothers, GGW Outdoors. Just skim through the rest of these quickly. Info Brothers. I think that was probably going to be just about it, guys. Sorry if I didn't call your name out. I think I've gone through everybody here. A lot of comments. Thank you so much for taking the time and dropping comments in, guys. I always appreciate it. Oh, Misty Mrs. Wayne. Hi there. I could call you out. I saw you earlier. Mark Thomas joined us. Ron Wayne joined us. Mark Thomas. Yeah, so if I missed anybody, guys, I'm sorry. Just drop another comment and I can Casey, if I pronounce this right, Casey Dolph. Is that correct, Casey? Casey Dolph. Sorry if I've mispronounced your name. So, like I said, thank you all for jumping on. It was good. I enjoyed it. And let me know, guys, leave some comments and let me know what you think about how I do these streams. It's going to be like a I'm going to try and keep it for just around about an hour and 15 if it runs that long. I want to be able to, at the moment, we're just going to go and doing different bits of machinery. We did the RCBS bench primer tonight. I'll figure out what I want to run next week. If any of you guys want to see something, you've seen some of the machinery I got around here. If you want to see anything, again, drop it in the comments and let me know, and we can talk about it. Maybe in the future I might jump on and we'll have a panel going, or I might try and do some interviews with some of you guys, bring you on so we all can learn a little bit about you. I've got all that planning in the future as well, but I just want to get these streams up and running. Hopefully it's you take something from it. And lucky tonight we had a problem with this machine and we worked it out together, and that's what it's all about. And so if it ever happens to you, you know what you need to do. Thanks, Walter. It was a great tip to knock the brass out. I couldn't get this shaft out. I need to strip this machine down and figure out, does it come out? And then we can do that. But great advice there. Thank you, Uncle Jim. Yeah, I'm really happy with this camera. It seems to be working great. I'll go back and watch this on YouTube probably tomorrow. Hopefully be back up. I don't know if it's going to be in 4K by then, or if it's just going to be in 1080. I don't know how they upload these live streams once they've been uploaded. But I'll see, and I'll watch it back just to see the quality. And hopefully the lighting was all right, guys, and you saw everything okay. And then Hillbilly just said, I've enjoyed this MacMan Reloading. Thanks for sharing. Everyone, don't forget, slap that thumbs up. Yeah, if you want to hit the thumbs up, guys, I appreciate it. And subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I'm always posting reloading videos. I'm going to be posting some shooting videos, and I've started doing the tool reviews. I'm doing tabletop reviews as well. So if you want to see about Mac tools, DeWalt tools, whatever I think is worth putting up, we'll do it. G23 is asking about the full auto, Dylan. I will definitely do one on that. I don't load on my automatic, Dylan. I just process. So what we'll do is I'll set it up. I might do a tool head changeover so you guys can see how we change a tool head over on it, how to do the shell plate, everything. And we get it up and running, and we'll do some processing of some 9mm or 223 or even 300 blackout. So we'll do that. So I've got that one on my list to run the fully auto, Dylan, so you can all see that. So guys, I'm gonna round it up. I really, really appreciate you jumping on and taking time out of your day or your evening to come on and share it with me. Really, really appreciate it. And thanks for everyone for all the comments. It's great to see everybody coming on and commenting. I don't know how many actually came on. We had 21 thumbs up tonight. There's still 17 on at the moment. That's way more than I expected tonight. And I'm really humbled by it, that you took your time to jump on here. So I just want to say thank you, everyone. Have a great week. I'll probably jump on some panels later on in the week. I'm flying out to Dallas to do a big tool show. So Wednesday and Thursday night, I'm going to be in Dallas, but I'll be back and we'll get some more done. So thank you so much, everybody, for jumping on. I really appreciate it. And if I don't see you before, I will see you next Monday night. Thanks, guys. Have a great evening and good night.